Did you know? Cardinal Tetra, scientifically named Parachirodon axelrodi, is a very beautiful, unique, small nanofish. This fish is very popular among aquarists due to its schooling behavior, peaceful disposition, unique color, unique feeding behavior, and small size. This fish can be the highlight in any peaceful community aquarium, and it is a particular standout in the planted aquarium with dark substrate. The wild populations of this fish are unfortunately suffering, but a few farms are cultivating and preserving this magnificent species with mass breeding. Following these videos, you have the opportunity to gain much more knowledge about keeping and breeding Cardinal Tetra. Here we will share our experiences which we have while going through many more failed attempts until get successful results. With our experience, we will guide you toward the best pathway without major failures. In this educational video, we will talk about important points that mainly focus on increasing the reproduction capacity of the Cardinal Tetra. Here we talk about the origin and natural habitat of the fish, its appearance, behaviors, water chemistry that is compatible with raising Cardinal Tetra, sex differentiation of Cardinal Tetra, Tankmates of Cardinal Tetra, unique diet and dietary habits, and the most important and interesting part of the video, which is best breeding method of Cardinal Tetra. This video is a product that contains many more important points throughout the video. Please try to grab all the details in this video without missing anything. First, we will roll into our intro. We will talk about the origin and natural habitat of Cardinal Tetra. This amazing little fish originates in South America. This species is found from the Orinoco River to the Rio Negro tributary of the Amazon River. It is found as far west as western Colombia and northern Brazil. In its natural habitat, the water is clear, full of tannins, very low light, shallow water, up to 1 to 2 meters deep in most places, and very fertile, although it can be muddy and turbid around the margins. Mostly, they are hanging around vegetated margins of the river. Therefore, in a captive setup, also they like fine substrate and much more vegetated, clear, slow-moving water. The average lifespan in natural habitat will go 3 to 4 years, and it will increase up to 5 years in captive setups. Now we talk about the appearance of Cardinal Tetra. An adult Cardinal Tetra fish size is approximately 1 to 1.5 inches in length. The Cardinal Tetra has a neon blue stripe running from the nose to the tail. Below this blue stripe, there is a dark red stripe. The average lifespan of this species is 4 to 5 years if kept in an ideal environment. According to their behavior analysis, Cardinal Tetra fish is a shoaling species and must be kept in groups. The minimum size of the group must consist of 8 fish. Keeping them in large groups significantly reduces their stress and helps them show their true natural shoaling behavior and bright colors. Keeping them in large groups will make the fish less nervous and result in a more natural-looking display. As with many Tetra varieties, darker substrate will also often result in better coloration. Here you can see, I used brown soil for the substrate. Now you can see how the color of fish. It is amazing, they have the best colors I have ever seen in my life. Floating plants and driftwood diffuse the light and create a more natural habitat. Cardinal Tetra is a peaceful species. Now we will look into their tankmates. We can put Cardinal Tetra with Asian rummy-nosed tetra, Galaxy raspbera, planted tank loach varieties, algae eater varieties, red neon blue eye rainbow fish, Cenepa red pencilfish, coral red pencilfish, red lizard whiptail catfish, killifish varieties, dwarf raspbera, chili raspbera, neon tetra, small shrimp varieties, forktail rainbow, and many more non-aggressive nano fish varieties. Now we are talking about the water chemistry of their habitat. Cardinal Tetra is very easy to care for. All you have to do is replicate their natural habitat in your fish tank. Add a lot of live aquarium plants to replicate their natural environment. And using driftwood, multiple natural decorations can be added. The minimum tank size should be 10 gallons. The ideal water parameters for these fish are: water temperature is 23 Celsius to 27 Celsius. Water pH 5 to 6. TDS value should be 100 to 180. Can tolerate GH value in between 3 to 6. When the temperature reduces to 23 Celsius, they will show more colors and activities also markedly increase. The system should be free of ammonia. Also, keep in mind, aquarium setup should be cycled for at least 1 month and should start a good nitrogen cycle inside the tank. Therefore, you should prepare the tank and introduce some hard fish, such as guppy, to the tank and feed them every day. Then your tank nitrogen cycle starts slowly and is established in the tank. Then it will adjust automatically for your quantity of fish slowly. Now we are talking about sex differentiation. It is very hard to differentiate between males and females. The first difference is males are thinner as compared to females. Due to their thinner body, we can see straight blue lines in the body when we see them in lateral view. When we take the female, it has a rounded belly. Thus, their blue colored line is curved. This feature will only be prominent with the maturity of fish because a female's belly gets rounded only with a prominent gravid. Otherwise, both male and female fish are identical according to color pattern. Diet and feeding play a good role in the breeding of this fish. Cardinal Tetra is an omnivore. It is preferable to feed them live and protein-rich foods like brine shrimp, daphnia, cyclops, frozen bloodworms, and fish flake food. Due to their nano size, these fish have small mouths and you need small food items. Here in Serendib Aquatics, we feed them with decapsulated brine shrimps and Dr. Bassleer fish food. Most of the time they are seeking live foods in the vegetation or floor. When we talk about the breeding of Cardinal Tetra, it is a very difficult task that can be achieved only with good patience and dedication. Breeding of Cardinal Tetra is a challenge. They do not show any parental care for their young. They are open water egg scatterers. There are 2 methods we can use for breeding this amazing fish. The first method involves isolating a small group containing 2 males and 4 or 5 females into a breeding tank with an air-powered sponge filter and a spawning medium such as Pelia moss or any moss variety with an egg trap. After the spawning process, you can remove the parents from the tank. This is the effective method that I also use in Serendib aquatic fish breeding projects. The only difference is here I tried with an egg trap initially, but when I removed the egg trap and put the plants freely in the tank, they laid eggs. They are a very shy species. After the egg-laying process, we should remove the parents. It is the best commercial way to increase the reproduction of these fish. The second approach involves maintaining a colony of adults in a larger and fully decorated setup that should allow some fry to survive if well planted. Aquatic mosses and floating plants with trailing roots are recommended as these fish spend the early part of their life close to the water surface. We will talk about the first method further. Set up a separate breeding tank with a sponge filter and egg trap with some plants. The tank should be at least 5 gallons. It is beneficial to use a sponge filter from an already established tank so it facilitates the cycling process of your tank. Also, put some Neocaridina shrimps as biological waste cleaners. They will eat all the left foods and the tank will be less likely to drive towards an ammonia spike. You can see my breeding setup here. I used well-seasoned, old water from my main planted tank. It has a soil layer at the bottom, plants, and my cherry red shrimps. Breeding tank water parameters I will mention here. pH value is 6. Here I used Indian almond leaf to reduce the pH value. The TDS value is 130. The water temperature is 28 Celsius. Ammonia is 0. Now choose a healthy, brightly colored 2 males and a few females, ideally 3 or 4 females. A single male can mate with several females during a single day. Initially, I selected 2 to 3 females in the breeding tank and fed those decapsulated brine shrimps and mosquito larvae for 1 week. It helped me to make sure that the females were full of eggs. Here you can see my all-female fish are full of eggs following that week. Following 1 week in the late evening, I put mature 2 males and 3 females in the tank. Then put your light dim. Males and females should have different bloodlines. It will help to make a healthy fry. Then another 24 hours they will be there in the tank. Next day, evening, turn off the lights, change the 40% of the water, and fill the 40% with cool water, which has tannins. I already prepared the correct amount of tannin water and took the temperature around 18 Celsius. Then I refilled the 40% with that water. Water change should be done within 1 to 2 hours. With that change, you should take down the temperature at least from 3 numbers. In my setup, I took down the temperature 28 to 24 Celsius. Most probably next day morning they will spawn. Our water change should imitate the heavy rain. That is why we put cool water and tannins to reduce the pH. If fish are not going to spawn with one water change, the next day you should do the same water change again. It can do 3 days in a row. Most of the time they will spawn within 3 days. Otherwise, change the parents or feed the female with live foods for another week and try again. Initially, female starts to chase males. It is the initiation of breeding behavior. After 30 minutes, males start to chase the female into the vegetation for spawning. Then male fish push the female into the vegetation, and same time, female lays eggs, male fish spread sperm. This will happen as a quick, jerky movement near the surface of the water also. You can evidence it in this video also. You can see here eggs are falling into the soil layer. You can see the breeding behavior in this footage. In my case, I switch on the aquarium lights at 6 AM, and after 1 hour of lights on, they will start to breed. I carefully observe the tank to identify whether the spawning behavior is stopped or not. And at the time, they stop the egg-laying process. I take out all parents, eggs will hatch in the same breeding tank. At the time 1 or 2 females start to lay eggs, other females and females are searching for eggs to eat. That is why we monitor the spawning behavior closely, and when they stop the spawning behavior, at the same time, we should take all parents out from the tank. Otherwise, within 10 to 20 minutes, all eggs will be eaten by other fish, and you will end up with 0 eggs on that day. I had that experience many days ago. The incubation period is usually 24 to 48 hours. It depends on the water parameters. Temperature plays a main role in the hatching process. Fry are so small that following first day of hatching, they will hang on a surface in the tank. After second day of hatching, they will start to swim slowly, and on day 3 of hatching, they will start to feed. Then you can feed them Serendib Aquatic prime egg yolk solution, following day 1 of the free swim stage up to day 7. Following day 7 of the free swim stage, you can feed powder foods, decapsulated brine shrimps, and live brine shrimps. I will put the link in the description for those who are interested in trying the Serendib Aquatic prime egg yolk solution. You can watch the video on how we make it in the correct method. This is the whole story behind the successful breeding of Cardinal Tetra fish. This is a very difficult task. You will go through many more failure attempts, but this video will guide you to avoid failures and go toward the successful breeding of Cardinal Tetra. Don't worry, hereafter you will be a master of breeding Cardinal Tetra with good knowledge of its unique set of behaviors. Thank you for joining Serendib Aquatics. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to comment below. I will try to reply to all comments. You can share your knowledge with others about Cardinal Tetra. Put your experience as a comment below. Serendib Aquatics will see you in our next fish breeding video as soon as possible. Hang on with Serendib Aquatics. If you think this will help you with your aquarium journey, please be kind enough to subscribe. Serendib Aquatic YouTube channel for new updates.